Only drummer in the building. Only drummer in the building. Drama, 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 drama. What you gonna do? Woo!
Hola amigos, welcome to the second episode of Only Drama in the Building. This is Diego, and today I'm with the Australian version of Moira Rose.
I'm enchanted to be here with you.
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about starting a new chapter, moving on, and flying the nest. So get ready for some laughs, a lot of drama, and maybe one tear or two.
Hopefully not too many of those, but who knows. Well, Diego, you have moved out and moved to many places, a lot more than what I have. What was your first experience like?
The first time that I moved out, I was 9 years old. I was really young. I was not aware of what it meant to leave everyone behind, your family, your friends. So it was quite easy for me. I was just following my mom.
At 9 years old, though, do you think that it's really like moving out, or did you just move location?
I was moving locations, basically. I was still following the rules of my mom, and, well, not really, but I was pretending that I was following
like
the rules.
any good kid.
What I remember of moving out, the first time was the plane to Spain. It was a very long trip. I'd never been in a plane before. They were saying there is turbulences or there are these kind of problems. But the small details, they were not into the explanation that they were giving me.
Don't you think that the flight attendants give enough detail with their whole put your thing over your head, blow into the whistle?
No, I was traumatized. I was like, what are they explaining this? Are we going to fall? Like, if we are not going to fall, they don't explain these things. So there is a chance that we die. No, but what was bad for me is I went to the bathroom. As a kid, no one told me that how the bathrooms work in the plane. So I did my thing. I flushed the toilet and I hear like, and I thought there was a hole in the toilet. I was very scared. So I ran out from the bathroom. There is a hole. And my mom, what do you mean there is a hole? All the passengers looking at me. Is there a hole in the plane? And I explained the story and everyone started to laugh.
But you weren't going to die.
Well, in my mind, I was dead. It's like you hear like the thing and all your life stops. So yeah, that's the memory that I have of moving out.
What was your first point of contact to move out as an adult?
I was very excited, but I was scared because I always lived with my mom. She was a single mom, so we had like a deep connection back then.
Different dynamic.
Yes, we were like really close. So leaving her was hard in some way. I was excited. Like, I'm not gonna lie and pretend, oh my God. And my mom, she had a really bad time with that. She was crying. She was broken. She was asking me, what are you doing this to me? Like,
why do you want to leave me?
Why do you want to leave me? I did everything for you and now you throw me here like a piece of rubbish. No. I explained to her, no, I still love you. It's normal in the life.
I feel like it's probably because you were her youngest child as well. Like, you were the last one that was leaving the nest, and all of a sudden she was about to be a solo woman all by herself.
Yes, because when my sister moved, no one made any drama. Like, I feel like I got the spotlight for some reason. But having said that, I moved, and the day after I came back to pick some things that I had forgotten. So I went to my bedroom, and my bedroom was gone.
What do you mean it was gone?
My mom sold all the things in under 24 hours.
Sold them?
Sold them, threw them, give them away.
God.
And she had like a new bookcase, a new desk. So she had time to sell, buy furniture, move it in, assemble it. So she replaced me with a bookcase. Like, after all the tears, they made nothing.
She was like, bye, bitch.
Yeah. Someone cries for you, don't believe them. That's my intake. So yes, I ended up moving out. And at the beginning, it was difficult. You realize that your clothes, they don't wash by themselves.
Look, everybody, it's not much of a shocker for him. His clothes suddenly wash themselves now, so...
What are you trying to say here?
I do the laundry. But never mind. So this is your first time moving out with somebody, and you would have different dynamics. So what was that like as a couple?
We were early on the relationship, so everything is pink and beautiful. And he worked, so he was not in the house a lot, but I worked from home. I was a freelance at the time. So I was really happy to have the house for myself. Like, I always like my independence, not being surrounded by too many people. So I did enjoy the difference.
Do you feel that that's something that is translated into our relationship?
What do you mean?
In terms of, do you still like take those moments of space when living with like another person?
I know I cannot live without you. I need you around.
Yeah, see, I'm totally the opposite. I crave my space to the point where there's times where Diego will be like, oh, why are you acting like this? I want to be with you. And I'm like, it's not you. I just want my space. I enjoy that moment by myself, but I still enjoy that living with somebody else. There's just that natural rapport, I guess.
Yeah, no, I was kidding. I prefer my space as well. But I think like at the beginning of the relationship, you were the opposite. And I think I passed this sense of like, let's have our space. No, I'm not guilty.
Never.
Oh, I always felt bad that I was a bad influence for you.
No. I've always liked having like my own piece of solitude no matter where I've lived. So for me, I didn't move out until I was around 24, and I actually moved from one country to another as well. I was going to go and live in London and experience a whole new chapter, live by myself, again, embracing the whole independent side of things. Prior to that, I'd lived with my family, which, as you know, my family is quite large. And when I moved over to London, I was living in a shared house. So suddenly I went from living with, about 4 people to living with about 7. And I was like, oh my gosh. And everybody spoke different languages in the house. It was a whole different cultural experience. And I think one of the worst things about living in London is I was shocked. They have their laundries in the kitchen.
In the kitchen?
In the kitchen. Like, I know right now we also have our washing machine in the kitchen.
But you mean the lines or the washing machine?
The washing machine. But then they have a humidity cupboard.
What is that?
A humidity cupboard. So you basically put your wet clothes or your damp clothes into a cupboard and then they dry. Because you have to think, the weather in England is not always great.
I don't think I'm understanding this. So you are frying the potatoes in the pan, and in the background you have your clothes.
No. So I'm frying the potatoes in the pan, which is right in front of me. I walk slightly to the left. There's a door. There's a cupboard. Inside that cupboard is just clothes hanging up, drying. They have like a hot water heater or something that creates like humidity, and it helps the clothes dry faster.
So how is the smell not going into the clothes?
I don't know. I honestly do not know. It was the weirdest thing for me. I used to take some of my clothes upstairs and put them on like an air out in my room just so that I wouldn't have to have like that, I don't know, humidity cupboard experience.
You didn't trust the British magic.
I didn't trust the British magic. And even I lived with Italians and they didn't trust the British magic either. They were like, don't ask us, it works.
But besides that, you think you had a positive experience? You feel like the difference of not being with your mom, taking care of you in the back?
For me, I've always had that independent streak anyway. So I already knew how to cook. I already helped around doing the laundry. I would clean. I was already involved in that side of things. So for me, moving out, it was more the independence and learning to grow as a person rather than trying to figure out the whole, oh my God, how to navigate the point of life and how to live for myself. I could already do that. So yeah, very different to your scenario, I believe.
I am an independent person. I survive.
But?
There is no but.
There is definitely a but here.
I have a lot of skills. Cooking, maybe it's not one of them, but it doesn't mean anything.
Cleaning definitely isn't one of them.
I can clean.
I just choose not to.
No. Every time that I clean, you have to come behind me like, it's not done this way. Put the pegs, they have to be the same color when you do the laundry.
Okay,
no.
To be fair, I can be a little OCD with my cleaning. I believe that is true. But... and especially with the laundry, like I like things to be hung a certain way so that they, no pun intended, hung a certain way just so that the air flows there, things dry properly. But
I've been doing the laundry all my life as well, and my clothes are dry. There is more than one way to do the laundry.
Potentially accurate, but there are the things that when Diego does the laundry, it takes a lot longer to dry. So... needless to say, There's no argument here, but I guess that leads us to how did we end up living together?
Well, we started living together in a shared house as well. So I think it's a whole different experience than when I first moved with my previous partner, because it was the two of us. But in this house, we were so many people.
We were so many people. We lived in a 2-bedroom house with 4 other people. So it was...
My family never knew this story. So if you are listening, like, oops.
Oops.
Yes, because they would have killed me.
You didn't leave your life behind in Spain for a shared house. It ended up being more like a sex house, to be honest, in a people were not being pimped out of there, but there were so many people walking in and out of those doors.
Yes. At some point, it's like, is this person living with us? Is it, who is this?
Who are they sleeping with?
Yes. Oh, yeah, and the washing machine area, I was scared of doing the laundry in that machine because you hear the rumors, you hear the noises, and that washing machine has seen a lot.
That poor washing machine.
Yes, no.
Well, remember when we changed lounges as well, how it went from being like these old lounges to this massive lounge, and everybody was like talking about 2 years after it. Oh yeah, I had sex on that lounge. I had sex on that lounge. And we were like, well, we had sex on it first.
Clinton. I cannot confirm that, but...
Or deny it.
Yeah, I will not deny it either. Yes, no, living with people that you don't know necessarily, I think is very hard.
I think living with multiple people is harder to navigate because you have more personalities to go up against. In that particular house, there was probably only 1 or 2 people who we would have minor clashes with, and then everybody got over it. When I lived in London, I remember that there was like one person who was in control of everything, and if you didn't do it his way, he was like really, really arrogant. And
was that person you by any chance?
It was not me. But I'm not arrogant about things. Like, I might not like that people do things differently, but I'm also not like, oh, you have to do it this way. We were in the middle of winter and freezing. We all had scarves on, and he was opening the windows and doors just because he wanted to. He'd just come back from the gym, was in a singlet, and...
You do the same. How many times have I been with a scarf and a jacket at home and you with the fan on? How many times?
Okay, there was one time when we lived in our previous house. We had a roommate, and the two of them, it was the middle of summer. I was boiling. I was literally in underwear, laying with the fans on, and they were being dramatic and like, oh, there's too many fans on. There was 2 fans on, and they were directed on me. Oh, no. So cold.
You had one in each corner. It was fully unnecessary. You have a problem with the body temperature.
I like being cold because if I'm very hot, then I'm constantly like, oh, help me, you know, like.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think sometimes it's difficult living with you because of these things. You need to be freezing all the time. You need things done your way.
I think the most difficult thing about living with you is...
Be careful.
No. I'm just being honest. I'm not being judgmental. Although those 2 things could sometimes look the same.
Yeah, every time that someone says, oh, I don't want to be rude, whatever, they're about to be rude.
I'm not about to be rude. So I think that the worst thing about living with you is that you are unaware of the fact that you can be quite lazy and you leave things around the house. It's like a trail of where Diego's been. There'll be like, you know, plates or crockery or dirty laundry on the ground. You can't even deny it.
What I might forget once every 2 weeks.
Every day.
No, you don't know what I'm saying.
The socks, the underwear, like there's nothing on the ground at the moment, but I'm saying
I don't
this
leave
is what
my
you normally do.
No, don't say that. I don't leave my underwear in the lunchroom. No, that's not true. What I leave is a mug with tea from the night before. That's
sorry.
Socks. Okay, maybe socks I do.
And shirts and everything else.
No,
you've never done that.
Clinton, one day I might have had a lapsus in my brain.
You've had a brain lapse.
Yes, like once in 5 years of relationship.
This happens almost on a weekly basis, but again, there's no judgment. We have actually spoken on a way that we have communicated about this. Now I refuse to pick them up. I'll just be like, did you leave something in this room? And Diego has caught on that I'm annoyed about it and takes it to the hamper.
I'm so nice. Picking my own stuff.
You are. You are very nice to pick up your own thing. But no, I think that we have had a really good dynamic where we've worked together to make sure that our space, we both can come home to it and just relax. Like, it is ours, it's shared, and I think that we've navigated that sense of living together quite well. So Diego, what do you think the best part about moving to Australia is?
Well, the difference with when I moved to Spain is that I'm an adult. So leaving my friends behind, my family this time around was much harder. I didn't realize on the first week, obviously, but with the days, the weeks, the months passing by, you do miss your family, the community. And as well, because as an adult, I think it's more difficult to build these strong friendships. And
I agree. I think that's been the most difficult part for me when it comes to moving out, even whether it be London or even when we moved in together, because I moved to Sydney to be with you. So for me, it was like always trying to find that sense of community. It's so much more difficult to make friends as an adult, like, and to try and find those communities that you fit in with. In London, I found them within some of my flatmates. When moving in together in Manly, it was kind of like, okay, I had your friends here, and then I started to develop a few friends with work. But now a lot of our friends have moved away. A lot of our friends have relocated again and all had to go back to their own countries. So it's quite difficult.
Yeah, that was another difficult part, because the friends that I was making, they were also like immigrants, because I feel making Australian friends is more difficult. They have their lives as well. But all the immigrant friends, they move back to their countries.
Do you feel, though, that in terms of Australians, that you have been able to make friends at work, or not really?
Yes, I have like friends, but they are just work friends. Sometimes it feels like we don't see each other.
You wouldn't see each other outside of
No,
work,
it's not
right?
like I wouldn't. It's just it has not happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I think you make friends with everyone. So it's hard for me to believe that you didn't make friends, or you can see a rock and start talking to the rock, and the rock would talk back to you.
So for me, I find it difficult when I first meet people. When I first meet people, I'm often quite like, oh, I don't want to be the first person to say anything. I get quite anxious. Once I relax around people, then I'm fine.
Now that you have all this experience in life, what would you say to our listeners that they're about to move out and start a new chapter?
If you are about to move out, I would say that it's okay to take time to learn how you like things and to grow as a person. If you're about to move in with other people, get ready, because those people aren't going to do things the way that you do. So you must learn to grow together. Yeah.
Yes. My advice would be make sure that you move out with a person that is not dirty. Because I remember in that house that we used to live with so many people, that was the worst. One day, this is bringing flashbacks.
Oh my gosh.
It's triggering me. I went to that bathroom, and the bathroom was massive. It was about like 6 meters
So the
long.
bathroom included the laundry. So you walked in, there was the washer, there was a dryer over to the side, and then there was a large bath. And
yeah, so I remember that bathroom. I almost died like so many times of the disgusting things that I seen. One thing that I saw there, in the middle of the bathroom, 3 meters from the toilet paper use.
did I ever know about this?
I don't think you were there. I think it was
my
before you move
God.
in.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
I think this has happened at my workplace before, and not just this workplace, but a previous workplace, where I literally walked into the bathroom and there was shit on the toilet.
Like
seat.
inside?
No, like on the toilet seat.
No.
So I went and used one of the other bathrooms, but I'm like, I'm not cleaning it. Like, I am not paid to clean somebody else's shit. It is the same as when you live with somebody else. Out of respect to those people, you do not leave used toilet paper on the ground. But yeah, I just think that in that instance, like when you move out with other people, it is navigating different dynamics, and people don't need to be in assigned roles either. Like as a gay couple, we don't fit that. Like, you know, a man does this, a woman does this, because that's bullshit anyway. But it's like you have to both work on a way that, all right, we're going to navigate living together by, we're doing the cooking, we're doing the cleaning. Yes, I'd prefer to do the cooking, but I like help with the cleaning. Or, you know, those challenges. And I think every couple faces that. But it's so much worse when you're in a shared house because you just have multiple personalities.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, I wanted to discuss the other way around. Moving back with your parents, or so you had the taste of freedom. You don't follow anyone's rules or schedules, and come back. For me, it was a terrible experience.
Really?
It was.
What was your experience that was so dramatic and disastrous?
Well, like, why do you leave this here? Why do you come at this time? Why are you spending so much time in the house? Why are you not spending time in the house?
It's almost like that, and you know, she doesn't want you to leave again. That she, yeah.
But I did leave to another continent. Like, so it didn't
To
work.
be fair, she helped you purchase that ticket, and she was like, "There you go, signed, sealed, delivered."
Yeah. Shortly then, she remodeled the house
Little
again.
did she know that he was delivered to me, and that package cannot be returned.
Oh.
One of the things that I wanted to ask just before we go was, has there been something that you have admired based on what I do in the house? Crickets, everybody. Crickets.
Of course.
Specifically, though.
I like that you take pride on your vinegar skills. Even though I hate it, at the same time I respect it.
Can you explain what my vinegar skills are?
Well, you solve all your problems in your life with vinegar. Is something dirty? Vinegar. There is something on the clothes? Vinegar. Someone has been stabbed? Put vinegar.
Nobody's been stabbed. So I do clean with vinegar because it's really good for killing mold as well.
The house smells like a salad. like honestly. And you put it on my face one as well. I don't know what you were doing.
No,
I didn't appreciate it.
I cleaned his glasses with the lenses because his glasses got super oily. So I cleaned the lenses with vinegar, and he was like, "Oh, I smell like a salad."
And my eyes were like on fire.
Yeah, it's a really good way of cleaning them. But yeah, I think like having lived with you, one of the things that I admire that you do is you have a really good eye for interior design. I like the way that you like, oh, the cushion's got to be like this, or we've got to drape the throw like this, and it will be like that for, you know, half an hour before we sit down and ruin it again. But I like the fact that you do that.
Are you gonna mention all the joy that I bring to the house?
A Mary Kondo right here, everybody. Mary Kondo.
Anyway, so let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
So everyone doesn't get tired of us.
No worries. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels. We are on Spotify, we are on YouTube, and you can join us on Instagram as well.
Yes, don't forget to leave a review if you are listening this on Spotify. Comment. It's good for the algorithm. We want to hear you, but it's also good for the algorithm.
That's his marketing background, everybody. I'm sorry.
No, we really want to hear from you.
We'll see you guys next time.
See you, bitches.
Thanks for tuning in.